Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Malinga Sise of Urban Harvest Organic Farm. For all of you who have subscribed to my YouTube channel, I am so grateful. And for those who are still new, please kindly consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Today I'm super excited because we are left with only 2 days to leave the brooder, and I want us to treat Newcastle disease in poultry farming. Newcastle disease among these chicks is so aggressive, okay? So we have to always control it. First of all, you can do the vaccination like we did when the birds were 14 days old, and then you can also use the herbal remedies, which we are going to use today. And guys, respiratory disease can have 3 major signs in these birds. It can have the respiratory sign, it can have the digestive sign, and it can have the nervous sign. And in the respiratory sign, the birds will have the greenish diarrhea or watery diarrhea. The birds can lose appetite. The birds can even fail to, the feed intake can reduce. So if you see your chicks reducing in drinking, reducing in feeding, just know those birds might be affected by the Newcastle disease. And then in the nervous sign, you will see the twisting of the neck, loss of balance. The bird will start moving in circle. The birds will the wings will drop, have paralysis on the wings. Those are all signs of the Newcastle disease. And in the respiratory sign, we have the birds will be wheezing, the birds will be coughing, the birds will be gasping. All those are signs of Newcastle disease. So as a farmer who is doing the brooding, you have to observe all the signs. If you see them in your birds, whether the respiratory sign, whether the nervous sign, or the digestive sign, you must take an action immediately. Now, I did the vaccination for this Newcastle disease, but to be honest, I wasn't convinced within myself, because when the birds are young like this, I told you that I normally do the drop in the eye, like I did the drop of Gomboro. You all remember that we wanted to mix the Gomboro vaccine in the water, but all of a sudden I changed my mind and said, you know what, let me drop in the mouth. Simply because when I did the vaccination for the Newcastle disease, I remember I mixed the vaccine in the water, and that was supposed to stay for 2 hours, of which some of you said that it was supposed to be to stay there for only 30 minutes. But within the 2 hours, the birds couldn't even finish the drinking water. So I remember collecting the drinkers, which still had over 10 liters of water, and I had mixed only 20 liters of water. So that made me not to be convinced enough that the vaccine was enough for this. But so that is why I decided that before leaving the brooder, we need to vaccinate, or we need to treat this Newcastle disease. And we are going to use only 2 herbal remedies. We are going to give garlic to this bird, and we are going to mix it with aloe vera. Actually, this is what we are going to use. Okay, this is what we are going to use, and this is the first time we are introducing aloe vera to our birds, and we are going to do this at least for 7 consecutive days. Guys, Newcastle is so aggressive among these chicks, okay? So that is why you see with the old birds, it is over 1 year I've not vaccinated the Newcastle disease, simply because now they have become so resistant. But when the birds are young like this, it becomes so aggressive in a way that it can wipe away the whole flock. So let us go inside and first collect the drinkers. Today our power is a bit low. Okay. Guys, our birds are growing every day, every day. Someone asked me yesterday that how are the young birds doing? There were those birds that I told you were not picking up on the weight. Their weight was really a bit down. So one of you was so concerned that how are those birds doing? I want to pick, I'm seeing some of them. I want to pick them up. They are all feeding well. So one of them is here. You can see the feathers are also coming. One of those birds are here. The weight is not yet very good, but honestly, you see the bird is really growing. Oh my God, I was almost picking one. So this is one of them, and those ones which were very, very tiny were around 6 of them. But they are picking up on the weight, they are feeding well, and the feathers are also growing. So we cannot eliminate it because, okay, we cannot eliminate them because they are still feeding well, and they are all very active. None of them is even sick. Let me take another one. Wow, this was one of them. You can see this one is even now very heavy. Okay, so long as the bird is not, like, so long as the bird has not died, there is no way you can eliminate it because the weight is very small. Wow. And that bird can, those ones can end up even laying very, very well. So let's first go and prepare our herbal remedies, and we come and give it to the birds. Make sure you get the aloe vera which the gel is still there. Now, like this one, I bought it some time back. This one was already starting to get spoiled. Others, actually, it was already starting to dry. So make sure you get the aloe vera which still has the gel, because we are going to get out the gel. Even this one still has the gel, but I'm going to use it for the old birds. So I want these fresh ones. To do like this, and you first wash it. Actually, you use a bigger pan. Now, when these chicks are still young, you don't give them too much of these herbs. I remember I've been giving you the measurements. So now, with the aloe vera gel, we are first going to scoop it, and then we see which gel has come out before we start taking the measurement. You first scoop it, and then you start doing the measurements. Here. So this is the gel that we shall need to give to these chicks. So this is the gel we are going to mix with the garlic. So you will remove it. This is how you're going to remove the gel. You see? So this is the only thing we shall need for treating our Newcastle disease in these chicks. So guys, I have I've used two big bulbs of the garlic, and I have got 6 leaves. Okay, 6 leaves. These are the leaves. When I say leaves, these are the leaves of aloe vera. So we are going to blend this together. Then later after we shall do the measurements inside the drinking water. You can use any type of garlic, because I've realized that there are another type of garlic apart from this. Like for us here, we have another local garlic. You can also use it. Only that the other one is too expensive. A kilogram is 18,000 Ugandan shillings. A kilogram of the other local garlic is too expensive. So that's why I normally use this one, because this one also works perfectly well for me. So you can use the other type of garlic also. So today is a Sunday, and we have people praying next to my wall. So if you hear a lot of noise, please you'll excuse me, because at the end of it all, we still have to give these birds these herbal remedies, and we all have to learn. So we are not going to add any water. We shall just blend it without adding any water. Then after that, we shall come and use a spoon. This is the spoon that we are going to use for the measurement. So let's go and blend this. I've been blending, guys. See how the mixture is. I've not added there any water, no. So after this, we are just going to scoop 1 spoon and mix with our 10 liters of water. So this is what we have. This is so concentrated. We've not added there any water. So 1 spoon in. Didn't blend. Shall we blend it again? So like I've already said, that if you're going to introduce something new to your birds, make sure that you make them thirsty a little bit. So we remove the drinkers early enough. can see how my birds are very active, very active. You go this side, they run the other side. You go this side, they run the other side. Very, very active. So I decided to open up this side for my birds to get fresh air. You guys can see, I've opened up this side for my birds to get fresh air. I used to open the door side, which I used to show you. I removed that bed sheet and make sure it is like that, open up to evening. But now, since the birds have grown, I feel like they need enough fresh air. So that's why I've opened here, okay? I've opened here. Since we are left only 2 days to remove the hole, do that. So now let's give them the feeds. But you can see how the birds are drinking the water. You can see. So whenever you're going to introduce something new, like the aloe vera was still new to them, much as you've removed the gel, but still some bitter taste will remain there. So I decided to remove all the drinkers, kept them a little thirsty for like an hour. Now I have introduced, and you see how they are all busy drinking the water. Wow, so let us now give them the feeds. And then we shall call it again. But just know my birds are so active, very active. If you come here, you can just love it. So like I told you yesterday, I'm giving them 15 kilograms in the morning. Then in the night, I'm going to add the 6 kilograms. Wow. And that thing is very good. You can't make my hair. You must be careful, eh? Have you seen how some feeds are getting down? You must always make sure feeds don't pour down, because if you pour down and you calculate the many times they do pour down, you find that you're cheating your birds indirectly. So even the workers, you must train them whenever they are putting these chicken feeds to not pour down the way it is poorly. So always, if you're using this, you first do like this and you do like this. Wow. So for today, that is all I had for you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for always coming back. Thank you so much for loving me. And if you're still new, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell so that you never miss out any upload. Share this video, comment in the comment section down below, and I'll be so grateful. See you next time. I love you all. Bye bye.